Hello Facebook and Instagram. We are live like every Monday. Just gonna talk for a bit for people to jump on. I hope you had a good Easter and you had a good weekend. It's autumn in Australia, so it's getting a little bit cooler. I'm here on the east coast of Australia, on the Gold Coast. Let me know where you are based, where you are located. Give me a wave, give me a thumbs up, and put in the comments where you are located. I have a few people on Facebook, I have a few people on Instagram. So today is going to be a little bit different than usually. Okay, so we've got Lakshman is in Alice Springs, the center of Australia. How exciting. I love Alice Springs. It's got a very, very special atmosphere in Alice Springs. It's beautiful with the culture and it's beautiful with Uluru. It's a very spiritual place. We have lots of clients either in Alice Springs or wanting to go to Alice Springs. So yeah, Alice Springs is very cool. Okay, who else is on the live today? Let me know where you located. Just put it in the comments. And give us a like so that other people see that we are live and that they can join us. The more people, the merrier. The more the merrier, so they say here in Australia. Claudia Vega, yeah, me. Where do you live, Claudia? Yeah, so I was saying you live in Perth. Wonderful. Perth in beautiful Western Australia. Okay, great. So we've got Northern Territory covered. We've got Western Australia. Do we have anyone from Queensland? Give us a like if you're from Queensland. Sunny but cool Queensland. So I was saying today is going to be a bit different. Usually we have topics to choose from, and this time I decided to do a Q&A. Q&A means questions and answers. So you asking me questions and I give you answers, okay? Because we're getting we do get a lot of inquiries, we get a lot of questions, so I thought I'm going to use this platform today, the live today, to answer some questions, and pretty much you get free advice. So ask me anything. The way you need to ask is because you can't speak, as in I can't, make you join the live with your voice. I'm sorry, Instagram, you just fell down. Okay, here we're back. So I can't make you join the live. So that's why you need to put your questions in the comments, okay? So that's also how other people see the question. And then I will answer the question. So put your questions in the comments. Okay. So there's a few things that I need to cover today. So while you're typing your questions, so use this chance, please. I mean, we have so many inquiries every day, and usually you need to pay for advice from a migration agent like myself, and now I'm offering this for free. So please ask away, okay? And I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible. I'm going to be live until 4:30, okay? So we've got half an hour. Or well, actually only 20 minutes left. Anyway, so there's a few questions, a few items that I want to cover. So we're doing the Q&A, so please put your questions in the comments. Then we announced the winner of the competition, or I announced the winner of the competition. Remember, there was this competition that we started because I was celebrating my 12th year anniversary in Australia. Remember that? So we did a competition where you could win a 30-minute free consultation with me. And this is a money value of $300. So usually my 30-minute consultations are $300. If you have a 1-hour consultation with me, it's $500. So this is your chance. This is now all for free. So free if you put your question in the comments, and also free if you have participated in the competition. Do we have anyone online now here on the live who has participated in the competition? Just type your name or say competition. Say the word competition in the comments so I can see that you're online. So the competition task was, we gave you actually over a week. We extended the deadline until today. And so the task was to answer the question, why is it important to you to get your visa approved? So pretty straightforward competition. Sorry, I'm just reading the word competition. Veronica, yes, Veronica has participated in the competition. She is on Instagram. And yeah, so the question was, why is it important to you to get your visa granted, to get your visa approved? Okay, so we did get several entries of people telling us why they found it important and the reasons. So that was one part of the competition. The other part was to tag 3 of your friends. Okay, do we have anyone else who has participated? Except Veronica? Is Veronica the only person who is online who has participated in the competition? Because I know that we had several entries, both on Instagram as well as on Facebook. So I will announce the winner during this live. So stay tuned for that. And then, oh yes, I did also, who saw my stories? We put some stories up in the lead up to the live today. Who saw my announcements, or who saw that I said there will be some big news today? Who saw that? Just type the word news in the comments if you saw that. And so far we have one question from Claudia. I'm just going to read that question while you type the word news. Veronica again, yeah. So Veronica has participated in the competition, and she also saw the news that I will announce very shortly. Anyone else? Okay, so meanwhile I'm reading Claudia's question and see if I can answer it. Dharma program for childcare worker is available in Kalgoorlie too, I heard. Have you heard how likely is getting sponsorship over there? Okay. Thanks for the question. So Claudia, is that, are you a childcare worker? Maybe the stream is a bit slow today. Okay, so Claudia says, I'm finishing my diploma in December. And then Veronica is asking, Priscilla, I can see it fine. Thanks for the live. Thanks, Priscilla. I think from memory, I think you are a client, Priscilla. I think who is helping you? I think Evelyn is working with you. Is that right? So just for everyone to understand how I work with my team. So I'm the director and I have a team of migration agents and lawyers and education agents. And I basically oversee everything and I supervise all the team members. So Evelyn, for example, she's one of our lawyers. She's working with Priscilla. Yes, perfect. Priscilla, she's working with Evelyn and she's applying for a partner visa. Yes, I remember. Priscilla and Brendan, I think, from memory. I'm reading all the file notes and I'm reading, we have team meetings and so I'm across everything. So obviously I can't do everything because we have many clients and we do many visa applications. So I only do if people specifically request to work with me. There's also an additional fee for that. Yeah, so if you want to work specifically with me, that's possible. However, there is a surcharge because as a director, I need to also look after other things. So my time is really limited. That's why there's an additional fee for that. And but yeah, I have an amazing team. We've got Evelyn, we've got Susanna. Is anyone working with Susanna? Susanna is really amazing. We've got the amazing Maddie. So Maddie is working with a lot of clients. What else do we have? Anil is asking, employer offer Dharma visa for childcare in Darwin. For me, how long does it take to grant Dharma visa and what is future prospects for PR visa? Priscilla, yes, so good. Thanks for everything. The team has been great helping. I have a few documents coming through. Perfect. Yes. Very good, Priscilla. Keep the documents coming. Partner visas, there's so many documents. Birgit aus Berlin. Hallo. Hallo nach Berlin. Wir sind jetzt im April. Habt ihr Aprilwetter in Berlin? Sorry for everyone who is not speaking German. I always get really excited with my German speakers and when I can practice my German. And then we have Veronica's asking, is there a way for temporary visas parents to get an exemption and fly over Australia? Okay, good. Great. All right, so how about that? I'm going to start answering some questions and then I will announce. Birgit is saying she's writing in German, so I'm going to translate. So I basically asked Birgit if they have crazy weather, April weather in Germany, because April is the change from winter to spring where it gets warmer, but the weather in April is like Melbourne. Yeah, so everyone who's in Australia who knows Melbourne weather, that's what Germany is like during April. So we get the 4 seasons in one day. So Birgit is saying it's windy, it's rainy, we're snowing, everything. Yeah, that's a crazy April weather. Okay, so let me just look something up here. So we're gonna start from the top. So I'm gonna start scrolling up here. Yes, it lets me do that because sometimes it's a bit tricky. Okay, so I think the first question was from Claudia, and she's asking about the Dharma program for childcare worker in Kalgoorlie. Have you heard how likely is getting sponsorship over there? Okay, so the Dharma visa program is a very popular visa program. We're doing a lot of those. Yeah, so Dharma visa is designated area migration agreement, and it's an employer-sponsored visa. So, and Kalgoorlie is a region in Western Australia. So Dharma means it has to be in a regional area. Yeah, so Northern Territory, for example, Western Australia. There's also a Dharma in Far North Queensland. There's a Dharma in regional Victoria. So there's different regions in Australia where these Dharma visas are available. And the Dharma visa is typically for a semi-skilled occupation, such as childcare worker. Okay, but there's lots of other occupations. So if you have any questions about Dharma visa, well, either now is the time. I'm going to answer questions until I'm running out of time. So put your question in the comment box, and I will answer it for free. Yeah. Otherwise, you can also book a paid consultation, and then we will speak with you in detail about your questions, about your visa needs. We do an assessment of your eligibility, and so on. Okay. So yes, so the Dharma program is available in Kalgoorlie in regional Western Australia, and the question as to how likely is it to get sponsorship over there. Well, look, I mean, it's like anywhere else. That is really the key, to find that employer who is able and willing to sponsor you. Okay, so once you have the employer, then we can start working with you. All right. Now, in some cases, we do have employers who are actually approaching us and they're looking for people. So once you are a client with us, we can also assist you with facilitating networking and facilitating certain employer contacts. Okay. And we have these employer contacts for various occupations. So childcare workers, hairdressers, carpenters, lots of different occupations. So just send us a message and then we can help you. Okay. So yeah, Claudia, I mean, I understand you're finishing your diploma in December, and I would suggest definitely find, if you're not already working in the field, find a job in that childcare occupation as a childcare worker, and then from there start approaching your employer if they would be willing to sponsor you. If they categorically say no, we don't sponsor, you either have to find a way to convince them to sponsor you anyways, or you have to move on. Okay, but usually people on visas, they're usually short on time, so they don't have time to stick around and wait for the employer to change their mind. Also, find out the reasons. If someone says we don't sponsor, find out why. Because actually it happened to me. So 10 years ago, so I came to Australia 12 years ago, and 10 years, and for the first 2 years I was just traveling around Australia on working holiday visas and had a good time and wasn't too worried about permanent residency. But then I needed to look for a permanent visa to be able to stay, and I was working for an employer, and in the beginning they told me that they don't sponsor. So me being me, I don't take no for an answer. And so I just kept pursuing them, and I kept proving myself and showing them how good I am in what I was doing. And eventually I got them to sponsor me. So I'm not saying it's easy. It was a really long journey, and it was quite a process. And I talked to a lot of different people within that organization. Yeah. And what I find, you need to speak to the right person in the company, organization, business, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. So don't give up too easily, but also know when it's time to move on. Okay. We're doing a lot of childcare visas, so childcare workers are very in high demand, and there's definitely a way to get you a visa as a childcare worker. Okay. All right. Now let me get to Instagram. I think on Instagram there was only Veronica asking a question. So is there a way for temporary visas parents to get an exemption and fly over Australia? So I would say I think what Veronica is wanting to know, if her parents can come to Australia to visit, not fly over Australia, because I think you mean to visit. Okay, so look, obviously currently we still have COVID in place, and we have international borders closed, and it's very, very hard to get people from overseas to come into Australia. Even people who have a visa approved. So we have lots of clients, they're offshore and they had their student visas approved or other visas approved, and the problem is that they cannot get a travel exemption. So Australia is very strict with regards to that. And Veronica, you're also pointing out that you are a temporary visa holder. So yeah, it's very difficult, especially on a temporary visa. Like, even we have clients that are Australian citizens and or permanent residents. of Australia, so, you know, a lot higher in the hierarchy in regards to visa and immigration. And even then, it's really hard to get family members into Australia. There is cases where it has been successful, but it is hard. It is not easy. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. Does it make sense? Okay, another question from Facebook. I'm trying to go back and forth between Facebook and Instagram, so keep your questions coming. I know it's already 4:25, so I said I'm going to be online for half an hour, and I still have two big announcements. So the announcement of our competition winner and the big news that I announced in the stories. Okay, so but let me answer. So here we go. So two more questions. Okay, so two more from Facebook and two more from Instagram. Okay. So Anila is asking, employer offer Dharma visa for childcare in Darwin. For me, how long does it take to grant Dharma visa, and what is future prospects for PR visa? So how I read that question is, so your employer offered you to sponsor you as a childcare worker in Darwin. So for the Dharma visa process, for the application process, we like to allow at least 6 months. Especially now with COVID, everything has slowed down in regards to the immigration department. And the Dharma process is very complex. There's 5 steps to it, okay? And there's lots of different steps involved before we can launch the visa application, which gives you the bridging visa so you can stay in Australia. Now, future prospects for PR visa, yes. So especially Northern Territory, Dharma has a pathway to permanent residency. So what that means is once you're on the Dharma visa, which is firstly the temporary part, once you're on the Dharma visa for 3 years, then you are allowed to apply for permanent residency. So yes, so there is a pathway to permanent residency. Okay, do we have any questions on Instagram? I can't see any questions on Instagram. Okay, so nothing on Instagram, so that means I'm going back to Facebook. Here we go. Rex is asking, I got my visa TSS short term, which is 2 years, then upgraded to TSS medium term during my renewal. So I worked with the same employer for more than 3 years, already for both short and medium term. Do I qualify for visa 186? Right. So Rex, this is a question I am not able to answer in detail without having seen your paperwork. Okay, I need to see your documents. So there's just certain questions that I need to see the documentation for it, especially with regards to TSS visa, so the subclass 4H2. There has been lots going on. There has been lots of changes. So it depends, when was the first TSS visa applied for? When was it granted? Then when did you apply for the second one? And when was it granted? And so on. So there's lots of different details that I need to know to be able to give you a correct answer. So Rex, for you, I recommend to book in for a paid consultation so that you get this advice, because obviously that is a really good investment to make for you, because the sooner you find out if you are eligible for the 186, the better, because obviously the 186 is a permanent visa, and that means, you know, once you know that you are eligible, apply for it straight away. We can also assist with the 186 visa application, and then you be a permanent resident, which is a lot better than obviously on a temporary visa. So make that investment for your future. All right, so it is 4:29.